Right.
Now,
Yeah.
you on your own, bro.
Yeah. Yep. Well, let me see. I see Mr. Jones made it. Mr. Brody.
Bobby Sauce on the line.
Bobby
Yes,
Sauce on the
sir.
line.
What's up?
Smitty, you still across the water, man?
I'm still, man. I'm still across the water, man.
Damn, dog. You don't want to leave, do you?
Man, I'm living the best life right now.
The question is he sober?
So it's early in the morning, Ron. Give me a couple hours.
Hey, Ron say that don't make no difference.
Since when? Bobby,
Right.
since when?
Hey, I've been around you early in the morning. I know what you do.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. I went to Manila yesterday, so they got a mall that's set up that looks like Venice. And you get on the gondola, the dude singing in Italian and rolling you down the river. It was nice, man. Good setup. I ain't mad.
Where you live in the States, Smitty?
In Dover, around the corner from Ron.
Oh, you in Dover?
Yeah.
Okay. Why the hell you want to come back to the States, man?
I got family, I got grandkids, the kids, and all that stuff like that. So you come back for them. The wife ain't leaving them. She ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
She go see them grandbabies.
Yeah. Damn, I wish I had somewhere to go, man. Get the hell.
Come here.
Huh?
You come here.
Man, look, that's 17 hours, dog. Hey, look.
What you hear, you good. Matter of fact, I ran into a brother day before last from Chicago. I said, man, why you coming? He said, man, I was looking at the back of my VA pamphlet, and he said they had a hospital there and all the setup. I said, well, let me go visit, man. I said, how long are you? He said, man, I've been here 10 years, bro.
What?
Man, if you make that 17-hour trip, you ain't gonna try to go back. You be like, I can do this.
Yeah.
He happy as a clam in water, man.
Wow. What's going on with you, Joe? There you go.
I'm just getting ready for the camping trip, man. I'm taking them young boys out there, man.
Okay.
See how they can react out there in the woods. They can get buck wild out there.
How long y'all gonna be out there?
Out the whole weekend.
Okay.
Man, that sounds like fun, man.
Friday night and staying Saturday. They got a big, large campfire. About 400 scouts going to be out there, man.
Okay.
Yeah, and we let them unleash them boys.
How many you taking?
I got it's a total of 8 of us going.
Okay. Who's the other scout? I call it. He one of you.
Sam Lewis. Sam used to play football with me. He a year behind me.
Okay.
And he graduated in 77.
Okay.
And he stepped up and said he wanted to help out with the boys. And then we got Floyd and the pastor. Yeah. The pastor even trying to get himself enswined into that thing, man. So he's going with us too. So
okay. Bobby Jones. What's going on with you, Bobby?
Ain't nothing, man. I'm sitting here now, man. So I'm dealing with my grandson. He out here at Dell State. They got something out there tonight, and I told him, he listen, bro. It's time for you to go on, get up out of there. It's dark now.
Oh, okay.
Out there all day, it's time you get on up out of there now.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
Because the little stupid locals get out there and start acting a fool.
Yeah, folks get out there dark.
Yeah. Our people, man. I want to talk a little bit about our people too, but I think I might have to edit that out. But our people are something else, man. These young cats, these days.
Yeah, these young cats, man, they're a trip, man.
I don't know, man.
I was talking to a young girl in school. It's been about 3 weeks now. She don't have much to say to me no more anymore. So what happened was we was talking, and I was talking about, how you train your mind, how we train our minds to do the things we need to do to be successful in life. I said, coming to school late, going to class late, anything like that, I said, your mind is, you training your mind to say, I got time, I got time, I got time. And I said to her, and I'm talking to her, and then I said, you know what? I can't even blame you. She said, what do you mean, Mr. Jones? I said, I got to blame your parents. She instantly got an attitude with me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not your fault. It's your parents' fault. They know what time you got to be to school. When you got to be to class and you getting written up and the teachers calling home telling them that you late to class 5 out of 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't do anything to correct it.
Right.
That's going to go into adulthood. And the first thing they'll say to me is, I said, what are you going to do when you get a job and you got to be somewhere?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it'll be different then. I'll be getting paid for it. I said, okay, let me flip that on you. What if you own the business and let's just say you gotta start at 7:30. And I come in every day at 7:40, 7:45, 7:50. That's costing you money.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you think you're going to put up with me doing it? Because it's costing you money every single time. If I'm not there to do my part, it's costing you money. I said, do any of y'all have grandparents that are retired, parents that are retired? Yeah. I said, your grandparents get up early in the morning. Yeah, my grandma, she still get up early in the morning. I said, because her mind is trained that she got to be up, and her body and everything that she's done in her life, as far as work, she had to be there at a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
So that body is still there. That mind is still working on that. It's not going to go anywhere. That's a lifetime of stuff that she's done that's going to continue until the day she dies.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't get that. You know, I got a kid every day. He make a joke. Oh, yeah, well, I make a joke with him. I'm like, don't worry about it. We'll start class when you get here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You should start about 8:45.
Mm.
And, you know, it's like, they don't get it, man. And it's
What grade
not
is that,
them
man?
because it's not instilled in them how to get it.
What grade is that?
This
Oh,
is from 9 to 12. I got freshmen that come to school 45 minutes, an hour late every day.
Mm.
Wow, that's tragic.
Is that their fault? No, that's the mother's fault. That's the father's fault.
Yeah.
Oh, well, my friend, I ride with my friend.
Mm. Yeah.
No, we ain't doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wish I would tell my mother, why you ain't go to school yet? Oh, I'm waiting for Tommy. He gonna pick me up.
Oh, hell.
Yeah, I pay taxes for that bus. You better get on that bus and let Tommy be late.
Yep.
What kind of leadership skills you see in these kids, man? Bob?
Man, listen,
do you see any real leaders that, you know, black or white, Hispanic or whatever? What do you see?
Yeah, there's some. I got one, and I call her Sarge because and she's in the ROTC. But man, let me tell you, she ain't got no problem digging in them, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I tell her all the time. I told her, Mom, she gonna be a leader all her life.
Mm-hmm.
And it don't matter what she does. And I told her, I'm not talking about military, I'm talking about period.
Right. Yeah.
But it ain't a lot of them, man.
No.
Because you have so many followers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because somebody else does it and they get away with, oh, I'm gonna do it too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Johnny did it. Well, Johnny slipped through. You can't do it because he slipped through. I told a kid the other day, I pretty much told him, like, yo, well, I don't like people telling me what to do. I said, people gonna tell you what to do all the rest of your life.
Right.
As long as you live and people telling you what to do. There's verbal and nonverbal commands all day long. And that's somebody, if you go to a stop sign, you get your driver's license, you go to a stop sign and they say STOP. Somebody's telling you what to do. It's just a nonverbal.
Mm-hmm.
If you run through that stop sign and somebody who's supposed to enforce that sees you and they stop you, you getting a ticket. Now you're being told the reason you getting this ticket is because you didn't follow that nonverbal command.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get away. I don't like nobody telling me what to do. I don't want nobody to. You're never going to get away from that. If you got your own business, your suppliers tell you what to do because they telling you, look, I need 100. Well, we ain't got but 75. All right, I'll take it. He just told you what to do. Right. You're going to take this 75 and you get nothing.
Right.
So look, you see these kids every day. Are they coming from single parent homes that mostly that you see, or is it a dual parent?
A lot of them are dual parent, but I think the problem is the parents have this attitude of I made it because they got a $400,000 house,
mm-hmm.
right? I made it. So their thing to me is built more into possessions than it is them dealing with their children.
Mm-hmm.
I got kids walking around there. Them Beats the head ones, the new ones,
yeah,
like $400 or $500.
Mm-hmm.
They walking around in them like they brought them from the dollar store.
No job.
No, yeah. But this is what the parents are doing for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I tell them right now, man. I'm talking about my grandson, right? He's 22 years old. He'll be 23 in August. This kid brought his own car when he was 20.
Mm-hmm.
He did the research and everything. He only 2 years removed from some of y'all that I'm dealing with when he bought his first car.
Mm-hmm.
He pays his own car note. And he goes to college.
Mm-hmm. So he's a resident at the college?
No, he lives off campus.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm like, these kids and like I said, it's not the kids, it's the parents.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Parents that come up there and ready to fight a teacher because the kid got a bad grade. Not going to the kid saying, why did you? Oh well, she gave me a D. No, that's what you got. Mm-hmm. I got kids come in class start, let's say 10:55. 11:05, they head on the desk sleep.
Wow.
Yeah. And I walk around, you gotta get up.
Mm-hmm.
I had a kid about 2 weeks ago. I happened to go in the office of the dean of students, and he in there because he's sleeping in class. He tells the teacher, leave him the fuck alone.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
They let him ride. He's still there?
Yeah, he's still there. But I tell you what.
So why don't the school do their job, man?
Well, listen. That's the second part of it.
They getting paid to keep kids like that?
That's the second part of it. A lot of it is their hands are tied.
Yeah.
What do you mean the hands are tied? I mean, don't they have suspensions and stuff like that? You got
that, but even with that, the hands are tied. We got a girl right now. I don't know if she's coming back or not. This joker had 2 fights back-to-back days. And they talking about they can't get rid of her. Because this thing they talk, this these IEPs
Oh,
and 504s.
okay.
Man, listen, bro. I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
And some of us know if we had IEPs back in the day,
Yeah.
we'd have had an I and an E.
Mhm.
And the P would have been some shit.
So you
look,
like you like a one-armed man going into a bar fight.
Man, listen. I got one class. I got my last class of the day. I feel bad for the teacher because there's young boys in there. I already want to punch them in the mouth, but I can't. Yeah. So I really can't express myself in that class the way that I do my other classes because they want to try you. Yeah. One of them I already told one of them one time, and I shouldn't have done it, but I was fed up. And I said, yo, man, we can take this in the bathroom. Listen, man. Man, the dude. So he's like, I was like, yo, you know what I mean? Well, let's do it. I got something for you. This joker went and called his mama.
That's what he had for you.
Right. So the disciplinarian, he called, he see me, he said, yeah, man, we got a meeting. We got a video of a phone. We got a phone conference with his mom. And so he's an African kid. I think his mom is American. I think his dad is African. I'm not sure. But the dad, he on the phone, you know, it's like with the accent, you know, it's like, yeah, because I was on my way up to that school. You know, I'm like, I'm saying to myself,
Dad come to see you.
That's
no, but the thing was,
you know what I'm saying, Dad?
I was on my way up to that school.
But I mean, he coming to see you.
He wouldn't have, listen, if it was my kid, it wouldn't have been I'm on my way up there. By the time he, I'd have still been on the phone with him when I got to the school.
Right.
But hey, and I told him flat out, man, I said, listen, I handled it wrong. It was just an ugly day. These kids was cussing teachers out all day long. Right? Matter of fact, Ron and Smitty, it was during the time when they had the HBCU thing at the Chase Center.
Right.
It was that day. And now this kid, I don't like to talk about people's kids, so I ain't gonna say what I want to say, but his grades don't match up. I'll put it like that. His grades don't match up to even going to an event like that. And the sad part of that is when we was on the call with his mom about me and the situation, she even told him, I told you couldn't go because your grades wasn't there.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, but yeah, it's tough. You know, you gotta blame the parents more than the kids because the parents, they ain't doing what they need to do. You know, as far as, and I'm not talking about discipline. I'm talking about even sitting down and explaining to the kid why you need to do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Our parents, some of our parents didn't finish high school, but they had world knowledge, and that's the knowledge that they gave us. Yeah. These parents today, man, they don't, and I go back to my grandson. From the day they was born, I had them saving money, right? Teaching them how a dollar worked. Right. I used to give them money and we go, what y'all want to do? Well, we want to get something to eat. All right, well, let's go. Where you want to go? Oh, we want to go to Chick-fil-A or wherever. Now, I done already gave you money. Go ahead and get what you want. Now, you go up there and order and step back. I was like, you got to pay them. You know what I mean? Oh, no, I gave you money. Right?
Yeah.
So now, you got to decide, what you gonna do? Because you don't went up there and ordered, $40 worth of food, and that's all you got is $40.
You didn't.
Right.
So now you got to decide how you gonna make this work for you. Because what you gonna do the rest of the day?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gonna want ice cream, water, ice, all of that later on. Now you ain't got no money. But that's how I taught them what to do with their money.
Mm-hmm.
That's life decisions.
And these are the things that kids aren't getting. Now, it's a lot of things that we didn't get either directly. We got them indirectly, but we didn't get them directly. And when I say indirectly, we saw the struggles.
Right.
We saw our parents struggle. We saw the stuff that we had to eat.
Right.
Right. We could go to the table and be like, I don't want them peas.
Mm-hmm.
You might not eat peas today, but you ate them that day.
Yeah. And if you didn't, they would go wait for you tomorrow.
Right. What? They wasn't going nowhere.
They go right.
Yeah.
When you sat at the table, you had the same meal that you left the night before.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just it. That's my whole thing, man. And I tell the kids every day, I tell them, listen, I'm not here because I have to be. I'm here because I want to be.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
What you rich? No, I'm not rich.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not rich. I'm blessed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
You deal with a group of boys, young men. What do you see, man, with these kids that you dealing with? You got any leaders you see? I mean, I know what's the age range? These scouts you dealing with.
This is not. I'm going to cut it down kind of short. But I started in scouting in 1999 with a Boy Scout troop at a church, and I kind of all those boys had aged out. One of them went in the Air Force. One of them was sheriff department, and the rest of them are doing fine. They graduated from high school, and they're doing fine. But I've been where Bobby was talking about. I've been there. I also worked at Kitchell Job Corps with outreach kids over there for about 3-4 years. You see the cream of the crop come through there, and before we talked about this, and I said, if you can save one or two of them, you done what you can do, because it's so many of them out there with problems. It's so many of them out there that have been exposed to different things in life, at a young age. It's so many of them is in an environment where there's violence and drugs, and the mother and father fighting, arguing. All of them, this pays it builds a kid, and it stays with them. They don't forget it. And and I've also been in the school system. I coached football on the middle school level. I coached football for AAU around Henderson. I started the first AAU football team. But these kids, man, now you just if you want my help, I'm here for you. But as far as running behind some of these kids, they don't want an education. I got a friend of mine, he's Army vet too. He said, man, he told the boy, why don't you, if you don't want to learn nothing, why don't you just stay at home? He just told the kid, just stay at home. Don't come, because every time you come, it's something, and so that's what I'm saying. You just have to, and you get frustrated. I went to, and I worked with a mental called INCO, where all the people in there all the clients in there were mental. They had mental problems. Some of them are better than some of the kids that don't. But some of these kids are walking around with what they call undiagnosed symptoms. They have it never been to a doctor, never seen a psychiatrist. So they just walking around with that illness. They have an illness, and they continue. I got one, and a lot of parents think that you can bring them, put them in school, and hey, that school will help them. School ain't the answer. Those kids need help.
And I'm gonna tell you, a lot of them break through to the military.
Yeah.
So we got a whole bunch of them. You get them in, and you see them when they first come in, and they get through basic training. Some of them don't get weeded out. They get through their schools. They don't get weeded out, and they end up in your military organizations, and they carry those problems with them. And we had to deal with that. We had to deal with that every day. There was one or two of them that there's absolutely nothing you could do for them, and they was carrying.
That's right.
Kids.
I mean, it used to be you had the health departments and you had the psychiatric places you could take them to, but they go there. They may stay 1 or 2 days. They out of there because if your insurance don't cover that, a lot of that. So
a lot of times, depending on what state, the rules are designed so that you can't keep them there. I've got some mental problems and in and out of there, and based on the rules of the state, you can't put them there. You can't put them there. If they want to get out, let them out.
Yeah. And then what are they gonna do when they get out?
Absolutely. And then that's the problem. They can't support themselves, or they end up becoming menaces to society because they're always getting in trouble because mentally their behavior can't be controlled. They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I say a lot of that, Chester. I was thinking about that the other day. I said, when I come to the podcast, I was going to bring this up about the fact that if this knucklehead, or what you call him, Captain Chaos?
Yeah.
If Captain Chaos started a war today, if he starts a war today, he's not going to get a lot of these kids in the military.
He's not. Matter of fact, I saw something yesterday where he's trying to send some more troops to the Middle East because he wants to attack the Kufis, because basically he's looking for a distraction. And I knew this was going to happen. He's looking for a distraction. So maybe if I start a war, they'll talk about that. They won't talk about all this money I'm stealing from everybody.
Right. They say recruitment is up. Y'all think? So?
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
I don't think so. Matter of fact, I'll be honest with you. We can't even get 50 kids in the ROTC.
Right.
Wow.
We love to try to get up in that, Justin. That's what we originated from.
It's crazy. We're losing the program, Air Force side, because we can't get 50 kids, and it's 50 kids for the semester.
Right.
So you got four blocks in a day. So that would only be about 15, 16 kids per block.
Right.
Or you may have a block where you don't have no kids.
What's the population of the kids at the school?
We got about, I think it's about somewhere between 13 and 1,500.
Wow.
Bobby, I was thinking about that when you said that. A lot of these kids do not even want to put that uniform on.
No.
Because they think their peers going to see them in it and they're going to,
and I try to.
And that's the truth.
I did since our long-term substitute, that's what I did last year. So I had ROTC all last year. And the main instructor, I used to tell him, I said, listen, man, why don't you put these kids in uniform? Take them to the mall, somewhere they like to go.
I ain't laughing at it.
And let them walk around in uniform and watch how the people say, because all they know is the uniform. They don't know if it's ROTC, reserves, or active duty. All they know is the uniform. I said, and let them see how people talk to them.
Right. Respect. Give them a little more.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
Right.
You haven't served a day.
Right.
But that because you have that uniform on,
right,
Yeah.
The mindset of people see the uniform. They're not going, oh, you only ROTC. You don't count. That's not what they're going to do.
Did he ever do that?
They're going to be proud of it.
No.
But that's why these are the reasons why the program is being taken away. We had a kid in the class. I really couldn't get on him, but I used to be hot. He never wanted to put on a uniform. He always had an excuse. Every day he had an excuse. But when they went on trips and stuff, he was in the front of the line.
Oh yeah, he wanted to go on that trip.
Of course.
And I told him, man, I'm like, yo, man, you gotta stop letting them go.
Yeah. Right.
Well, if I do that, then they gotta listen, that's on the school. You gotta do your part.
Right. So you in it or you ain't in, but you gotta be all in.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Colonel Catlins used to take us down to Seymour Johnson Air Force Base every year to see the Thunderbirds and what's that other group of flyers?
Blue Angels.
The Blue Angels. Yeah, we go just about every year. I think we used to go.
Yeah. That's a good trip, man, for some kids. To
yeah.
And then even with that, like this year, when the kids need something for the ROTC. They call me. Mr. Jones, we need you. You know what I mean? I'm right there.
Teaching our kids civic appreciation. When we were growing up, that was one of the things that they taught us was to have love for your community, to have love for your country, to have love for that. And there's still nothing wrong with that. We've got to start your community if you want something from it. And do a poor job of that. Matter of fact, I was just looking at a historian today. I watched this lecture, and he was talking about even taxes. He said, we've got a whole group of people who've grown up that think that taxes are bad for us. Taxes are what builds your roads, what get your water clean. And we've taken that away from our society to the fact that we got adult people running around talking about that they don't want to pay taxes, they don't want to do anything, which is part of their civic responsibility that makes your community better. Otherwise, your community starts to deteriorate.
Yeah.
And we're doing a poor job as a society of training folks that you have to be part of your community if you want your community to continue to be good or be better. And if we're not taking part in that, if we're not doing our parts, even the little things, then eventually you wonder how civilizations die. That's how civilizations die, because people will no longer invest in the community.
That's right. Yeah. Let's we talking about these kids, man. Let's transition over into this what the kid that stabbed wasn't it Karmel Anthony? Karmel.
Yeah, Karmel.
Yeah, Karmel Anthony. You guys, did y'all see that?
Yes.
Y'all got any thoughts on that, man? I mean, we're not gonna try the case because don't nobody actually know what went on. I looked up as much as I could on what they say happened, but y'all got any thoughts on that? If you saw it or did any research on it, or what about you, Mac? Did you hear about that?
Oh, of course I heard about it.
Well, what do you think, Mac? What do you think about that so far from what you've heard?
Well, it's what I want to say is, I guess, they made a hero out of that guy that shot Trayvon Martin, right?
George Zimmerman.
Yeah. They made a hero out of that guy that killed those guys up in Michigan or Wisconsin or whatever. They raised all kinds of money to support him. All right. Now, in my mind, Trayvon Martin and those kids that were up in Michigan or whatever were just as innocent as that guy that Karmel Anthony killed.
Yeah.
Now, it's wrong that they killed a guy. Don't get me wrong there. But, I understand the guy was bullying him and pulling his fight card, if you will.
Right.
if you're gonna pull that white card, you got to be able to back it up.
Mm.
So I think it'll be an interesting case in the court, but I don't think he's gonna get a fair trial.
Mm.
Oh no.
What you say, Ron? Ron, what you think?
I mean, he's right on point as far as, in this country, the thing about this country is all kinds of examples of, I remember growing up and they used to always say, man, you got to get you one of them Philadelphia lawyers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Them thorough mouthpiece. And in this country, if you have the means, you have an avenue to go to court and walk out of court.
Mm-hmm.
Because, a lot of times there's no equal justice. It's never going to be equal.
Right.
It can be similar and it can be the same, but the justice in the courtroom, I said there's a reason why justice is blind, because they don't want to see what was getting ready to happen to you inside.
Mm.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have the means to get that thorough representation, you might be in some trouble. And they exemplify that by who they back. Like you was talking about Trayvon Martin and all. Look at how many people, like Max said, just gave money towards his legal. The little white boy went all the way to Minnesota, wherever he went. They had millions of dollars in the legal fund. But they showed us these colors years ago. Y'all remember down in Miami when they was fighting over that little Elian Gonzalez?
Oh yeah.
They raised millions of dollars for this kid and sent him back to Cuba with all the money.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to take the attorney general to go to the house in Miami to get the kid out the house. Because the police wouldn't do it.
Well, like they say, justice is just us.
That's just us.
Well, they raised almost $500,000 for this Anthony kid, from what I understand.
They did?
Yeah, some kind of a GoFundMe they had, but then I read.
Oh boy, it was wrestling.
Huh? What do you say? Who said that, Bobby? Who said that?
Smitty.
Where you go? Oh, what you say, Smitty?
Yeah, I said that was the one where the little kid was wrestling and.
No, this is the Karmel Anthony, the one that stabbed the white kid.
Yeah, I think it was a wrestler.
It was
It was track, wasn't it?
Track, track.
I'm sorry.
It was
but
you're right.
They raised about $500,000 for him on some kind of a GoFundMe, from what I've read.
Mm-hmm.
But then they say that the parents were using that money to pay rent and all this kind of stuff. I mean, I guess the money should go towards his defense. I don't know.
Yeah.
See, that's
so what did Trayvon? No, I mean not Trayvon Martin, but Zimmerman. What did he use the money that they raised for him for?
Oh, I don't know.
Vacation.
Yeah.
For vacation.
Yeah. Buy some more guns.
Buy more guns.
But what I was talking about was, remember years ago they had this little 12-year-old kid was wrestling, and I apparently threw the other little kid down, and then they tried him as an adult and put him in jail. That's been quite a few years ago.
I think that way at home, the kid, he was kind of a really big guy, has killed his cousin or something like that.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
For them, they tried him. They wanted to pull the full weight of the law behind him and try him as an adult.
What? Now look, this Karmel Anthony thing, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, this thing happened at school, from what I understand. What the hell he doing with a knife, Bobby?
He was at they was at a sporting event.
Oh, it was a track meet.
Right.
Okay.
I think he had been being bullied before this.
That's what I think.
Right. Maybe he was definitely wrong for the weapon thing, but he had been bullied before this, and I think that kid was part of the bullying thing. I'm not saying
the kid and his brother.
I'm not saying that he was the only one, but I think he was one of the ones.
So they had interaction before, you saying?
Right.
Okay.
Because even his brother told the truth and said that from what I heard anyway, his brother told the truth and said that his brother went after him because it was him, the one that told the truth, and the kid, I guess they had some words, and then the brother stepped in and kept it going and going and going.
Okay.
That's the word I'm getting, or that's what I've been hearing, I should say. That's what I've been hearing. But either way, he shouldn't have had the weapon. But the stay in the ground room rule still stands.
Yeah.
Because if you don't provoke me, even if I have a weapon, if you don't provoke me or put me in a position to use it, I'm not going to use it.
Right.
I was going to say, should Zimmerman had a weapon? The kid up in Minnesota or whatever, should he have had a weapon?
No.
He took an automatic weapon to a march. I mean, he went there to kill somebody.
That's completely different. That's completely different because he went there. That's premeditated as far as I was concerned.
And it wasn't even a thing where he went to protect something of someone else's, not him.
Okay.
Right. This kid, at least in the context of what happened, if he had the knife, he had it to protect himself.
Right.
But you know,
where this guy going to protect some car dealer's thing.
That his mama,
like I look at this thing these people keep talking about with the immigrants killing all these people. I'm trying to figure out who all these people they killing, because I mean, I've heard them. Don't get me wrong, nobody should lose their life, but I haven't hear them killing these multiple people that the Marjorie Taylor Greens and Donald Trumps and them saying that they killing. But you will never hear them talk about how Dylan Roof went in that church and did prayers with them people and then turned around and killed them.
Kill them all.
Right? You will never hear them talk about the Columbine kids, right? You will never hear them talk about the Douglas School in Florida. You'll never hear them talk about that, where these kids kill multiple people's children. You will never hear them talk about Sandy Hook, but you will always hear them talk about an immigrant that killed one person. I'm not saying anybody should lose their life again, but let's talk about what no immigrant is coming to this country and went somewhere and shot 30, 40 people.
No,
not a one.
Right. That's
but
true.
They don't talk about that.
That's because it doesn't fit their narrative.
The only thing, the thing about that though, Bobby, man, is that they try everything in their power to justify the orange man being in office.
Absolutely.
They don't want nobody to talk about the 34 felonies he got. They don't want to talk about the rape affliction he did against one of his wives.
Right.
They don't want to talk about the nothing that Donald Trump has done, because they want to just justify the fact that he's sitting up there as our president.
Right.
And it's I say our because he's my president too.
And so, Joe, you right. The thing I look at is it's almost like you in a room and you see something going on. You don't say anything until somebody else speaks up. Right? And when that person speaks up, now you can say, oh yeah, I saw that too.
Right.
Well, that's the same thing. All of them, the only thing he's doing is giving them just what they want, but all of them were scared to say it.
Yeah.
Now, because he comes out trying to be tough guy with tough mouth and big boy tough guy, they all want to fall in now and now they want to do the same things.
Mhm.
And as you see every day, they getting their boots knocked off in stores,
Oh yeah.
on the street, and everywhere because they think because he do it, you can do it. No.
Mm-hmm.
I seen a old white dude the other day. I was watching the thing. He called a man a nigga. He said, "Listen, you got that. You got one more time to say that." he said, "Nigga," and it was over. Next thing you know, hey, what my man say on the thing? He say now he tastes like he got a mouthful of pennies. I said, boy, listen, man, I just be cool. Everywhere I go, I just
let them all
cool because it's there. And I tell people all the time, man, listen, I'm not going to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to Florida. Nope. Because I already know there's a strong possibility I'm gonna run into that old man.
Let me tell you, it's crazy even over here because Fox News is one of them strong newscasts that goes. They've got an international market and network, and they pump all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my friends was driving through some neighborhoods, some residential areas that they have over here, and what is the first thing I see is this big gigantic Trump flag in the middle. I said, why the hell is that out here in the middle of the Philippines?
Exactly.
And the dude's like, probably 3/4 of the white dudes that you see running around here, old retired GIs, they sit here watching Fox News and they done carried this stuff all the way overseas.
Wow. Let me ask you about another situation here. If y'all saw this one, the Victor Perez incident, y'all see that?
Is that the one in Texas?
I don't know
The
if
school shooting in Texas.
No, this is a guy that was having a little breakdown in his yard.
Oh, the young
behind the fence.
With
So he had autism. Yeah, he was in some kind of medical crisis.
Yeah. He was a little slow.
Yeah, but he had a knife in his hand. Did y'all see that?
Yeah,
I didn't see that one.
You didn't see that, Mac? How about you?
No.
See it wrong?
Yeah.
I saw something
I didn't
about
see
that.
it.
Yeah.
You see it, Smith? Did you hear that one? Victor Perez.
No.
Let me. I want to, because I want to ask you guys. I mean, Bobby, you've been in law enforcement. Any of y'all other guys been in law enforcement?
Listen,
I want to show you this, and I want to hear what you think about this.
I tell anybody, if I had done anything that these guys done, I'd be in jail.
Mm-hmm.
And
go ahead, Bob.
It's a shame that they constantly getting away with this, with pulling their guns. I watched a thing on Facebook the other day where a black guy was stopped. They had the wrong license plate number, the wrong car, and everything. They talking about, if you move, I'm gonna shoot you in the head and all this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then they want to say, after they found out that they was wrong, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, here's my card. This is all on me. And no, man, I'm messed up the rest of my life now. I'm scared to drive down the street.
Look at this, man. Then we're going to talk about this for a minute. But I want y'all to see this. Okay, let's see.
Tonight, outrage in Idaho after a 17-year-old with intellectual and physical disabilities was shot 9 times by police in his front yard. The family of Victor Perez now saying he is fighting for his life. Eyewitness video shows Perez lying on the ground holding a knife in front of his home. His family says he has cerebral palsy, affecting his ability to walk. He also speaks limited English. You can hear in the video a woman saying no and attempting to restrain him. After about 2 minutes, police get there and 4 armed officers begin shouting at Perez to drop the knife. He's then seen struggling to stand up before he moves toward the officers who open fire. His family telling local news outlets he was experiencing a mental health crisis.
We understand the concern and emotion.
At a news conference Monday night, Pocatello police playing the 911 call made before officers were sent to the home.
For anything, a knife looks like they're trying to stab someone. He's laying on the ground he looks like he's on drugs or something.
Police also showing a photo of the knife Perez was holding.
Officers positioned just outside the yard gave repeated commands for the male to drop the knife. In situations like this, officers must make decisions in seconds. They assess threats, not just to themselves, but to those nearby.
The Pocatello police chief adding that officers provided life-saving treatment before Perez was taken to a medical center. Over the weekend, outraged local residents protested the shooting outside the Pocatello Police Department.
There could have been multiple other different ways to relieve.
I'll stop it there. Now, go ahead, Bob.
And this is the thing with that, Chester. If they all should be in court yesterday.
Yeah.
Because it clearly states that there was nobody there for that kid to harm.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Nobody was near him. He was far enough away from you where you could have used the taser.
A fucking fence between them.
You could have used the taser. And what they're going to say is, well, the fence was there, so the taser probably wouldn't have got there. Well, you could have got close enough to the fence.
What the fuck was he going to do? Jump over that fence?
Exactly.
But not only that,
Mac, your mic is muted.
You walking up on him.
Mm-hmm.
You walking up on him, so he's not coming at you because you got the fence between you.
Right.
You can stand back.
Yeah.
If he comes over the fence, different conversation.
Right. So my question is, what justifications did they have to shoot that kid like that? And again,
because they told him to put the knife down.
Why is it when one cop shoot, everybody got to shoot? Is that a written rule in the Brotherhood of Police or some shit?
No.
Look, another thing. Look, you're a police officer. You are supposed to be trained to handle things. Unless he gets real close to you, I don't think you should be using lethal force.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I just don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a firefighter, you're trained to go into a burning building, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're a police officer, you should be trained to handle an ordinary person.
A situation like that.
Yeah.
You got like I said, a damn fence between you.
Yeah, and then as you see them walking up on the fence, that in itself, you're engaging him. He's not engaging you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know
I
what?
understand if they say he was protecting a woman in the fence, but hell, he wasn't.
She was gone.
Yeah,
he wasn't in the scene anymore.
See, a lot of this, y'all, goes back to the age when George Floyd era they had, when white people were so into the police the police are our friends, the police are there to protect. And we came up with the idea that we need to, these officers that are when they come up on a situation like that, when they got a person that's mentally ill or whatever, these officers, we need to put some more training into officers being able to respond to people that has mental issues like that boy Perez had. And
But Joe, did they know he was having some kind of a mental crisis?
No, they didn't know that. That's what I'm saying. But
okay, eliminate that factor.
Yeah, you can eliminate that, but You know, like everybody was saying, it could have been a different way to handle that.
Exactly.
Instead of just coming out, bow, bow, bow. You know, you know, if there's a person on the scene with the police that maybe can talk him down. You see what I'm saying? That's trained. That's trained in that. So that's why they said, let's put into defund. Let's defund the police because they're not getting the training they need to get into a situation like that. They don't know. Only thing they know is if you show a gun or you show a knife, hey, you a threat. Even though you're saying they got a defense there, it's still
they got that. I've seen serial killers get brought in and never get shot. So I refuse to believe that they don't have the training. I think they're selective in how to use the training.
Yes, that's true. That's true too. But you have to look at too when January 6th happened.
Right.
They all these people, as of today, they still say they took the side of the January what you call it, the people that committed the crimes. They took their sign. They didn't take the signs of the police officers who were fighting for their life out there. You know, even today they just say that wasn't what it was.
Because if you're from what they consider the other side of the culture that they're for, then they don't have no problem killing you. But they don't. They good.
Yeah. What do you say, Ron? Looking at that.
So this happened a few years ago in Philadelphia, and they were supposedly going to do legislature. They had a kid in Philadelphia. He was having a mental situation, and the family called the police, and the police responded, and the kid ran out the house with the knife in his hand. They shot him dead. So the family was saying the same thing you all just said. There should be another way. They should have tried to,
talk him
down, and all these other things, right? So here's what happens in this country. So I think we talked about this, but a few years ago now, they took all the state facilities that used to handle mental health, and they closed them all. All the cities that had state facilities closed them all.
Hey,
so
Brian, not to interrupt you, but that was part of DEI. Go ahead.
So people now, the first thing they want to say is, well, they need more training, or they're not suited to handle those type of situations. The reason why they're not suited to handle those situations because they hire any goddamn body to do the job, number one. And you get these little, and it's not just white, it's black. We saw that in Memphis with them cute dogs stomping on that guy.
That's right.
But and that's why they give you the warning, because they physically can't handle nobody. So if you rushed up to him, he gonna shoot you because he can't fight you.
Right.
And if you taller than he are, if you weigh more than he does, you a threat. Like the kid in St. Louis. Oh, he's 6'4", and and the police sitting in the car shooting the boy.
Right.
Sitting in the car, he shot him. But that's the excuse, The guy goes into church, goes in the supermarket. Oh, he's meant. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. The gun is just being used as an excuse. No. Is also the means. You can have a mental episode and don't have a gun and don't kill nobody. But what's happening is in this country is people are so tuned out to what you guys were saying earlier about civics and all that other stuff that they don't even get involved in this stuff because everybody's assuming they're gonna get their piece of Shangri-La and all this other shit. And Trump got elected both times because people thought he said, I got money, I'm gonna make sure you get money. That's how easy it is. It really is that easy because as the populations die off, they recycle. So you got a lot of people without wisdom, without a world view or any view besides their neighborhood. And they don't, it just irks me to see what I saw the other day at Temple. all the black kids at Temple University in North Philly, right? Where the parents at? How you let your teenagers just run around with 50 other teenagers and don't think they're gonna get in trouble?
Right.
You know, but that's the kind of society we got in. We're fortunate and unfortunate enough to live long enough to see this bullshit.
Yeah, it's the same thing going on down this way. In the NCCU, they just had a full-blown riot on there about what the issue? Housing. Housing, y'all. They out there shooting black kids, freshmen out